General Educational Discipline, Level A2. Today's theme is the heart and vascular system. Aim of discipline: improve the baseline level of English proficiency to reach the next level according to the common European framework of reference for languages. Learning outcomes: based on the results of mastering the program, the student has the following learning outcomes. Correctly choose and use language and speech means based on a complete understanding of vocabulary, grammatical system of knowledge. To be able to request and communicate information in accordance with the communication situation. Evaluate the actions of participants in verbal communication. Use information to influence a familiar or unfamiliar interlocutor. To fulfill personal needs, everyday educational, social, cultural, professional. To be able to participate in various situations of communication in order to express an ethically correct, from a meaningful point of view, complete at the proper lexical, grammatical, and pragmatic level of their position. Reading. During the reading, the following skills are formed. Read and highlight familiar names, words, simple phrases in the proposed texts. Read the pragmatic texts that regulate the daily lives of people in the target language country. Menu and signboards, routes and maps of the roads, different signs and warnings, schedules and notices, the information that produces an indicative basis of the action in a new socio-cultural environment. Writing. In the area of oral and written forms of communication, during a written communication, using simple sentences to describe relatives, others, their occupations, home, and etc. Based on the speech topics, to convey communicative intent in compliance with the normative requirements of the structure. Listening. During listening, to understand the objective, the speech of the teacher and their fellow students. To perceive and to understand simple everyday expressions of everyday use. To understanding articulated and slowly spoken questions and instructions, prescriptions or simple short instructions of the teacher. In fragments at the level of words, phrases, and simple phrases to guess the subject. Speaking. During a dialogue, to conduct a simple conversation based on prepared speech with the use of repetition, paraphrase, and other means. To share short remarks, to keep the conversation going, to communicate on familiar topics related to everyday life and studying speech topics. Use the formulas of speech etiquette to begin, continue, and end the dialogue. In monologue speech, to describe in simple phrases his family education, place of residence, fellow students, the daily routine, weather, seasons, etc., to make a brief message about yourself, your activities, and interests. New words according to the text, heart and vascular system. Перикардиум, околосердечная сумка, перикард. Apex, верхушка. Interspace, промежуток. Costal, реберный. Septum, перегородка. Atrium, предсердие. Ventricle, желудочек. Valve, клапан. Fibrous, волокнистый, фиброзный. Systemic, системный. Pulmonary, легочный. Portal, воротной, портальный. Inner – внутренний, within – внутри, include – заключать, включать, содержать в себе. Male – мужчина, female – женщина, separate – отдельный, chamber – камера, thick – толстый, плотный, густой. Layer – слой, листок, locate – располагать, определять местонахождение. Carry – нести, носить, переносить. Lung – легкие, liver – печень, coat – оболочка, налет, dilate – расширяться, увеличиваться, растягиваться, contract – сокращаться. Text the heart and the vascular system. The heart is an inner hollow muscular organ placed within the chest and included in the pericardium. The base of the heart is against the third rib. Its apex is against the interspace between the fifth and sixth costal cartilages. The weight of the heart is about 300 grams in the male and about 220 grams in the female. The heart consists of two separate chambers divided by the septum. Each of the chambers has two connected parts, the atrium and the ventricle. The atrioventricular valves separate the atria from the ventricles. The right atrium is larger than the left one, but the walls of the left atrium are thicker than those of the right one. The right ventricle is triangular in form and has thick walls. The right ventricle is in the anterior part of the heart. The left ventricle is longer and more conical than the right one. The walls of the left ventricle are 3 times as thick as the walls of the right one. The valves are located at the entrance and exit of each ventricle. The muscular structure of the heart consists of 2 parts, the muscular layers of the atria and the muscular layers of the ventricles. The vascular system consists of 3 groups of vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. The vessels carrying blood to and from the tissues of the body compose the general circulation. They are called the systemic vessels. The pulmonary circulation is formed by the vessels carrying blood to and from the lungs. The portal system is formed by the veins passing to the liver. Most of the arteries are composed of 3 coats. The arteries dilate and contract simultaneously with the action of the heart. Please answer the following questions. Where is the heart located? Where is the base of the heart located? Does the heart consist of 2 separate or connected chambers? What are the 2 separate chambers of the heart divided by? What are the atria separated by from the ventricles? What vessels dilate and contract simultaneously with the action of the heart? What organ is included in the pericardium? What is the weight of the heart? What groups of vessels does the vascular system consist of? What vascular system do the vessels carrying blood to and from the tissues of the body compose? What system do the vessels carrying blood to and from the lungs compose?